Good evening and welcome to the studio this evening. Right, I want out some rings. Some of those. Yep, some of those. So as I started on the last stream, I am going to try and do a candy cane with silver and that nice yellow. So we'll try a few, see how it goes, see if it looks like it's going to work, and if it does, great. If it doesn't, we won't carry on. So start by opening rings and swapping glasses. Which should help me see a little bit better. Okay, a few of these should already be open from the other evening. When we were doing the box chain. I do actually need 4 of these closed, so we might close a few or close those in a couple of moments. And if I'm going to continue dropping these rings, I hope that's not a sign for the rest of the evening. Maybe it will be. This is just if this starts to look as I want it to look and we carry on with the candy cane, then this is by no means enough rings to do even a small bracelet. This is just a start. We'll need to open a lot more rings to do a complete bracelet, but it should be enough to just see if the concept that I'm after works. So if you're watching, not seen this before, I'm making jewellery. I'm making a bracelet using anodized aluminium rings using a technique known as chainmaille. So chainmaille isn't armour. Armour is made using chainmaille, the weaving together of rings. Armour or the original armour was made using chainmaille, using iron rings, obviously forged by a blacksmith, and they were riveted together to close them. with jewellery, we don't rivet them together, we just close up the gap by twisting and manipulating the ring to close the gap, and in many cases the join just almost becomes invisible to find. Of course it doesn't need to stop a sword or anything like that, so it doesn't need the strength that riveting would give it. Plus there'd be really tiny rivets. So there are all sorts of different ways of interweaving the rings. One of the most common that's used in jewellery is called Byzantine, and once you know what it looks like, you can recognise it all over the place. But there are in practice tens of thousands of different ways of weaving rings together. That might seem rather amazing when you think a ring is a ring is a ring, but even when you're talking about rings all of the same size, there's still tens of thousands, and if you start then to think about using different sized rings in different places of a weave, you just multiply that by another large number. Another one that's commonly used is called box chain, which is a variation on Byzantine, or Byzantine is a variation on that, however you choose to look at it. Another one that's used quite a bit is Persian or half Persian weaves. This particular case, nothing at all to do with Persia or the Persian Empire. They were probably invented in Europe somewhere and just given an exotic sounding name, probably to make it sound good. Don't know exactly. Right. So I will now close up 4 of these silver rings. I could do this when I've woven them together. It's a little bit easier to do now. Okay, and that's one where it's almost impossible to see. I can just about feel it, but I can't see it. Which of course is the idea of doing this. Okay, I will swap pliers in just a moment. Especially when you're closing rings like this, like that, these pliers are actually better for doing that because they're a parallel jaw plier. And what that means is when I hold the ring in these pliers here, like that, it holds it across the full width. Whereas if I try and do the same thing with and you can't really see it so well in here, but with pliers like this, there's actually a V shape formed, and it's actually only holding one side of the ring, and that actually means it's very easy for it to bend out of position like that. If you can see that moving, but that's because it's being only held in one place. If I hold it with this other one, I can't actually do that because it's been held in lots of places. So especially just for closing rings like this, these parallel jaw pliers are excellent for doing that. A lot better than the standard pliers. Okay, so that's 4. Now I've done that because for candy cane we start by taking 4 closed rings together and actually create a chain of 6 rings in a 2 in 2 pattern. Here, if I can get hold of it, 2 in 2 pattern creates 6 rings. Now then, the trick at this point here, well, first of all, is to put a little tie, like this one, through the 2 end rings. That gives me something to hold on to and to know where the end is, and then I fold these 2 end rings back on itself. Not like I do for a Persian, sorry, for a Byzantine, but literally just folding them back on themselves. Now then, okay, so it's getting started with this, with candy cane. As with a lot of weaves, getting started is often the hardest part, and once you're started it then becomes a lot easier. And I'm referring to some instructions just to help me get started, so I want those 2. There, and these 2 here, like that. I just need to make sure they stay in the right place, because otherwise the next row, which is kind of the first row that starts to tie things together, would be in the wrong place. Right, now then, that's that way, yep. Now it gets really critical to hold the rings in the right place for candy cane, because if you don't, the pattern actually changes direction and gets messed up basically. Now then, I have a slight difficulty here, because if I was doing this using 3 different colours of rings, as I normally would, then I'd be able to see a lot easier where things go. Because I'm not using 3 colours of rings, I'm only intending to use 2, this could get quite complicated. So I'm just trying to line things up and make sure I can tell where I want the things to go. Yep, it's that way there. First few rows of this, like any, well, like most weaves, is critical to the pattern. There's a concept called stability. Stability is where the weave, it will hold itself together. There are some weaves, the half Persian is a notorious one for it, which in the first half dozen or so rings, what if you let go of them, they drop on the desk, they just all the pattern falls apart. and it can be quite challenging, shall we say, to put it back together. And sometimes it's quicker just to start again. Some weaves, like Byzantine for example, is stable on the 7th ring. Box chain is probably stable on about the 5th. This seems to be about 10 or 12 rings in. So I'm being careful at the moment not to disturb this too much. No. It's that one, it's also that one. Yep. So they've gone through there like that. I've got that like that. I'm looking at that one there. Yeah. And then with this one goes around this ring. Is going to prove that it wants to be awkward. So that goes through there and there. Now this is kind of a symmetric pattern, so when you've got one side in place, it's really just a case of then doing this exactly the same thing on the opposite side of the chain. Although that's not always as easy as it sounds sometimes to work out where the opposite side of the chain is. There, right, now then. Intent now will be to use 2 gold rings. So, let me again position things. So I've just done that. I now want that there like that, I think. And we go to a gold. Through that one, through that one, through that one, and through that one. Okay. As I mentioned, do it on the other side as well. That. Okay, don't specifically have the same colour coding to help me. But it's starting to work. So this is a silver, which is now going to go just through there and there. Through that one and that one. Yep, that's correct, I think. There's confidence for you. Now that's gold, that's silver. I want another 2 silver before I use the gold again. So right. That one, that one, that one, and that one. Now we'll use the yellows again. Okay. So now then, where do I want those yellows to be? Yep, I think I want it to go through there and there. Like that. There are actually 3 variations of candy cane, and this is one of them. See if that looks like I've got it. No, I think that's not the way I want it, so we'll take those out. If I can find the end. There's one end. Sometimes you only find the end literally with feeling it very carefully. I think it's there. And sometimes you get it wrong even then. Okay, I think I want this to go through that pair there. And therefore this one here will go through the pair on the other side, which is that one and that one. Come along. I always win in the end rings. You might as well go there when I want you to in the first place. Right, so that should mean then that yeah, I go through the two. One of the things that's useful about this particular doing chainmail like this with aluminium rings is aluminium, of course, is a fairly safe metal with respect to allergies. So people who are allergic, for example, to nickel or some of the other compounds, aluminium is unreactive in that respect. So you know, if you have sensitive skin, it can be very nice jewellery, because things like silver plate is often done on top of nickel. Whereas with anodized aluminium, it's well, apart from the dye that's used to create the colour in the first place, it's completely all aluminium. And at the moment I use sterling silver clasps as well, so again that helps to avoid allergies. And also, you know, some people wear off silver plate and gold plate in a matter of hours sometimes, and that's something that's avoided by using sterling silver. Now then, I've just put that ring through there like so, and I've got something that looks like that. So my next ring is going to be down at that bottom corner there, and it'll be silver. I'll be going through that one and that one. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. So this weave is also symmetrical, if you hadn't already worked that out. That's gone through there. So that means that one should go through there, 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 and there. And it would be better if I got it through the actual rings I intend it to, rather than only 3 out of the 4. Ultimate T-Bird, good evening and welcome to the studio this evening. I'm trying these same coloured rings with a different pattern tonight. It's one I was going to try out the night before last, but never actually managed to get round to it. And I'll leave out the usual joke about square ones. How are you tonight? Now then, did I get that in the right place? I'm thinking the answer to that is no, I didn't. That's rotated the wrong way. Sorry, I'm just studying this. You managed to load my broadcast from Misty. Oh, okay. I was just saying hello. I'm just trying out. I'm trying out the candy cane weave, which is what I was going to try in the last stream, but I ran out of time. And I am just at this moment in time trying to work out these last 2 rings I've put in. What I was trying to achieve is the candy cane. The way in which the colours go into candy cane, they twist around naturally from the way the weave is done. The colours naturally twist around as long as you get the right pattern. And I'm just looking at it at the moment, and so I was trying it with, instead of normally I'd use 3 colours, what I'm trying to do here is use 2, which should make the twist show up a lot more easily anyway. Although because I'm using sort of yellow and silver, they're quite a low contrast, so you've got to study it a little bit to see the twist. I would potentially be better using a higher contrast like red or dark green or something like that, but I quite like this yellow and silver colouring, so I'm sticking with it for the moment. But I am looking at this, and these last 2 rings have reversed direction, so I'm going to just take them out and just take another look at what I was doing and see if I did something wrong. can't really put that through a different way, so if I put okay, well that then implies that I've probably put those through the wrong place. Okay, the join wasn't where I thought it was. It's there, okay. So if it doesn't go through right, that's too yellow. So if I put it through this one, so it's that's one of the things with this weave, you have to get it exactly right, otherwise the colours just don't spin the way they're supposed to, even with the three. I mean, the one thing that's I suppose is nice in a way about this particular weave is it looks quite a chaotic weave, you know, with rings going left, right and centre. And so generally speaking, if you do get a colour sequence out of step, it's not fantastically visible. But here, because I want a particular pattern to be, you know, to stand out almost, then I have got to get it right. So if I now put this through here, and we'll see whether this looks right this time. So that's through that one and that one, and I grab there. Well, they're pliers rather than scissors, but I can kind of understand. What am I doing later tonight? Going to bed. Is what I'll be doing later tonight. It's time is it now? It's 9:15 in the UK, so when I finish at 10 o'clock I've got time to have a drink and just have a little bit of rest before I go to bed. One of the things I will probably do after the stream is I should be able to take a video live on a YouTube channel. So does that look better? No. Well, yeah, okay, it does. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. So I've just created a YouTube channel, Zarragan Art Studio, and I've got a time lapse of the pyrography I did of Felix to go live, which I haven't quite done yet. Four. Two, four. Yeah. Zarragan Art Studio. It might not be visible without a video. On there, because I've uploaded it, but it's not gone live yet. I I will put out a tweet when it goes live. I think. That goes through that one there. Okay, so that's green, so that's those, like that, so now like that, so it goes to the bottom. Sorry. Yep, I'm not sure whether YouTube makes it all one word or whether it's 3 words. Let me just have a look. Now that I've worked out where that ring's going. Where are we? On here. That one there. I think if I've got it right, that's the channel. Unfortunately, it won't recognise the names Aragonat for a little while yet. They don't let you apply a nice friendly URL like that until you've got so many followers on the channel. There's nothing on it at the moment. As I say, the video is uploaded, it just hasn't been made live, but I'll do that after the stream. Yeah, then. So that's that. So that's the first lot, and then second lot goes through there. Yeah. Sorry if I'm appearing a little bit distracted. I am reading instructions. Well, looking at pictures actually on my other screen. Trying to get this right. Thank you very much, Ultimate Tiba. I think according to Twitch, to YouTube, I need another 499 to be able to get a nice friendly URL, but we'll see. The intent then is all the Twitch videos that I've, because I do record all the broadcasts. So what I intend to do is all the pyrography ones, for example, time lapse, and put up a time lapse of those. Same with the carvings. The jewellery, I probably will time lapse it, but not as fast. I mean that the Felix one, I think there's over 10 hours of video which has been time lapsed. For the jewellery, of course, which only takes a couple of hours anyway, just needs a mild speed up, just to make it like 20-30 minutes, something like that. So right. But then I'll just put those on as well. So I've done that, and that. So it would naturally go through those two there. That's that one. That's that one. That's that one. The times 3. You could time lapse them times 3. Okay. The time lapse for Felix was something like about 2,000 times, 2,500 times time lapse. Okay, see you later, Ultimate Tiba. I will now try and work out exactly where I want to do this next set of rings. Ooh, this one is complicated. It's a complicated weave and just keeping track of it. So I would go through, if I go through there, then my next gold will be through, yeah, I think it's that way. No, this is gold now. Okay. Okay, let's try it this way and see what it looks like. If I get it wrong, it'll be obvious to me and I'll just have to redo it. Oh, it's a smiley, is it? Sorry, it looks like a ×3 on here. I already did. There was over 24 hours of source video in there. There was 12 broadcasts, I think. So I cut a lot of it out to start with, and then it was still down to 10 hours. But thank you for the offer. That puts it in the same place as that one. Okay. So I think I may have got this one out of step. Maybe I'll stick to standard candy cane next time. Because I'm trying for this matching spiral, that this is just causing a little bit of trouble. So that was that step. Yeah, and then we go through there, I think. Like that. And that was silver. We're now on to gold, or yellow, actually, not gold. Which should then, in theory, go through there, 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 and that one. Fluffy Twiglet, good evening and welcome to the studio this evening. It's the Christmas holidays. I'm finished work. Don't have to go back to work now until the 5th of January. So, how are you doing? So that's that. I've just put those through there, like so. That's through there, like that. And the silvers go through the bottom ends. Like that. Okay. Hi, I'm just trying to keep track of what I'm doing, Fluffy Twiglet. This is I was about to say it's a simple weave. It is a simple weave. Once you get the hang of it, it's quite a simple weave. And if you want it to look fairly chaotic with colours, then you don't need to be too concerned about which rings you pick up and where you put them in some ways. If you make a mistake, the pattern just reverses itself and you kind of, generally speaking, don't notice it. But as I'm trying to, I'm just using 2 colours rather than 3, and I'm actually trying to get the yellow to spiral around, then it matters where I put the colours. So I keep having to refer to diagrams. So, okay, so that was silver, that's silver. I'm now going to put yellow rings on again. Okay, so that was like that. That's like that. They're like that. And that's green. That's purple. Which has gone through. So this has to be. Oh, blow it! I'm trying to study the pictures, but what I'm just going to do is just take a guess as to where. If I get this wrong, I'll just have to open the ring and try it again. So I think it wants to be there. I think it wants to be there. And as this is symmetrical, we'll put that one. Okay, well I know I've just done that wrong because I actually wanted to be a yellow ring, not a silver one. That matches that there. That match. That match. That. Match. Okay, twist, match, twist, match, twist, match. And to match, yes, it's got to go through that one and that one there. Maybe I've learnt the trick of this. Take the silver ring off because it's the wrong colour. Replace it with a yellow one. If I can find the end of it. And if I can't find the end of it, I'll have to get a pair of cutters out and cut it. But I think I've found it, which is there. Go to silver again. Yeah, go through those like that. So kind of like experimental weave. Candy cane I've done a few of. I enjoy the candy cane weave, but as I mentioned earlier, it's easier to do with 3 colours than it is to do with just 2. And in actual fact it would be easy to do with 2 colours as well, but I'm trying to put the colours in a particular place, which is what makes it slightly less easy. Which is why I keep studying exactly what it is I'm doing in order that I can work it out. So twist, match, twist. So to twist it, it wants to go through that one and that one, I think. Exilian, good evening. And Sons of Robert, you should be speaking English, please. This is silver. Yeah. Okay, let's put this on and guess. I think those two silver ones are actually in the wrong place, so if I just put this ring through, and I'll take a look then and see. Whether it looks correct. Stop doing that, ring. No, it'll work, I think. So that one went like that. That one went like that, so that would have gone just no. No. That's not right. It's not right because I don't think these are right. I was hoping I'd get the hang of doing this without having to continuously stop and look at it and study it and try and work out where things should be. But it looks like that's not going to happen anytime soon. Because I am trying to do this whilst I'm streaming, so I'm concentrating on two different things at the same time. That looks better. it's correct. Push the cocktail stick through. Yeah. I'm getting the spiral pattern I was after, but to be honest, you don't really notice it. Again, as I mentioned earlier, it's the contrast. It's a relatively low contrast between the yellow and the silver, so it doesn't show up as much as if I take something like the Christmas one. The red or the purple, if you look at the red or the purple, and I know it shows up blue on here, when you look at this in person, you can see the colours sort of spiralling around each other a little bit. You don't see all of it, but you sort of you notice a little patch of it, and then you'll notice a bit more, and your eyes get distracted as you sort of follow the spiral around. So that's why I was trying to do it with just 2 colours rather than 3, so that you've got more of a pronounced stripe. And I guess to do it, should have picked a more contrasty colour like red or deep blue or something like that to go with the silver, rather than the yellow. But I do so like these 2 colours together. So my next pair is silver, and that's a match twist. Next is a match pair, and to match the pair, oh sugar, I wish my brain worked. Bottom corner, okay. It reminds me of the Lion King does that one. It's sort of very reminiscent of that, and certainly that style of music. Now then, next one would be gold, and I want that in line with that one, so that's going to go through there and there. And then I want some more silver rings out. I think in this playlist there's a couple that sort of remind me of other things. That's one of them that reminds me of sort of Lion King type thing. And there's another one that I can't. Well, I'll know it when I hear it. But yeah, that is in focus. Silver. 19 gauge, 3/16. Choose that one. I shall open these carefully so that I don't spill them all over the place. Right, I will not need that many, but it will save me. I can put them back in the box rather than in the back in that bag. So I just got more than I needed out. So I shall open a good few of these. No idea how many I need. I could have counted them because I do know how many make a 7.5 inch candy cane, but I'm just going to keep going until I get to the right length. I'm in no particular hurry, and I'm just kind of building my speed back up, but it's not being particularly I'm not being particularly speedy with this particular chain. Of course, speed comes with familiarity. Candy cane is I'm familiar with, but I'm being, as I mentioned, being slowed down significantly by trying to get the colours right. Normally I work this with 3 colours, although I suppose I could try working it with just a single colour, which would be quite an interesting thing, because it's still an interesting pattern. I think the colours, if you use the colours, it kind of picks out the pattern a lot easier, but it's still a really interesting sort of weave, the way everything sort of looks as though it just dives around everything. I'm not actually sure whether a single weave would be easier or harder, to be honest. Possibly easier, in that if you make a mistake, it wouldn't be as visible, for one, because all that happens really is a section is what, 2, 4, 6 rings, and you can't really get the 6 rings wrong, but what you can get is those 6 rings in relation to the next 6 rings wrong. And what happens if you do that is the spiral, it's a naturally spiraled weave, and if you get it wrong, then you kind of reset, or you either continue the spiral, reset the spiral, or kind of make it look as though it's going backwards. So you just effectively, I guess, just make the worst case is you make the weave look a little bit more sort of complicated. So, Exilian, it's nearly Christmas. Are you ready for Christmas? I've got quite a busy year ahead, so this Christmas is going to be quite a nice rest, I hope. Right, that's a few silver done. Let's put these into the weave and then we'll see where we go. So having done that, like that. Is it always the bottom left? Like that. And by left I mean right, and by bottom I mean top, but anyway. You playing Minecraft? Oh, okay. I haven't played that for a while now. I've got a 1.7 world, which I've sort of just not done anything on for a while. I've been playing for a little bit now Fortress Craft Evolved, which is an interesting game. It's not exactly Minecraft, but it's sort of, well, as a lot of people have described it, it's kind of a cross between Minecraft and Factorio, which is interesting. But the beer does sound nice. It's a little warm here in the studio at the moment, and beer does sound tempting. There'd be no point in going through there, so that must go through there, I'd have thought, to pick up the... So that went through there, then it could go. No, jeez, it's got to be that one. Feed the Beast is not a mod. It's a mod pack, and there's lots of them. Which one are you playing? The only FTB mod I've tried a couple actually. I've tried I haven't tried a sky map yet, a sky block map, and there's also I tried a material energy as a mod pack as well. Well, I tend to just play the direwolf packs though, because I kind of have the same tasty mods, so rather than sort of making up a, and that's not right obviously, rather than trying to construct a pack or something like that, I usually like his choice of mods, so I just follow use his mod pack and play with that. That's okay. Lots of people think lots of people think FTB is a mod, and it's not at all. As Slowpoke will quite happily tell you if you ask him. What on earth is going on here? That ring has got to be in the wrong place. I mean, the one thing FTB has done for Minecraft, I think, is it really has changed Minecraft considerably, because you know, just the act of putting lots of you know, being able to put the mods together in a single pack that you can install with it, you know, with just one click, has made an absolutely amazing difference, I think, to the game, and to you know, lots of people now play mods that they you know, play not just the vanilla game, but as I say, play the mods where they never ever would have even considered it in the past. I'm going to take that silver ring out because I have no idea what's going on here with this. Because prior to, you know, prior to FTB, basically, you didn't, you know, you had to construct your own. If you wanted a mod in, you had to put it in, worry about all the block config ID conflicts and balancing it, and you know, to make it decent to play. And of course, that's the one thing that FTB, you know, took away. You didn't need to be an expert anymore. They did all the hard work for you, and you just got to play the game, which is absolutely amazing. So that's just gone through 2 rings, so the next thing wants to go through 4. Which has got to be that one, that one, that one and that one. Yeah, I was about to say you can almost tell the age of some gamers. You've got the gamers that played the alpha versions of Minecraft. You've got the gamers that played pre-FTB, and then you've got the next generation that know nothing but FTB. As I mentioned, I've just started playing that Fortress Craft Evolved, which is kind of a really interesting game. It's got similar sort of building concepts to and survival as you have with Minecraft, but it's all about automation and getting resources to to progress to getting off the planet basically. Which is kind of what the purpose of Factorio is. It does combine the two, but there's some really nice mechanics in there and gameplay. You even have the odd enemy as well, only they're not like creepers that just come around and blow things up just for the sake of it. They are actually sort of a little bit more logical. I don't quite go back that far. I mean, I was playing the later betas, I suppose. And actually, technically, has it ever been released? I'm not sure. But there were, when I started playing, IC2 was around, and what's the other one? IC2 and Buildcraft were around. Red Power. They're the big ones that I can remember. I never actually played with EE2 or EE equivalent exchange, actually, not even EE2. Never quite got round to playing that one. And strictly speaking, I've never even tried it at all now, because I don't think is there a mod pack that's got it in? Some of the later FTB ones have, and I think, of course, now there is a couple of mods that are recreating EE and Red Power, so I get a chance to play them again. So that's silver, I want gold next. That's a pair, these go over, so that wants to be I think it's that one and that one. No. I've gone through a pair, so it's got to be 4, which puts it through and that one. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Moobot's doing a reasonable job this evening. So that's I've just noticed he's dropped the advert into the chat. So if there's anybody watching, Moobot there has just presented a series of links for anybody that might be interested. There's the Etsy shop where there's jewellery like I'm making now, which is available made to order, and it's quite easy on there. If you see something you like but want it a different colour, just start a conversation, talk to me about the colours, and we can make custom pieces. There's a link there for some items which are on eBay at the moment, so if you want something, don't want to wait, there's 3 items there that you can take a look at. Boy, this is taking a fair bit of working out. That there, bottom, that there, bottom left. That there, bottom left, yeah. And these want to go through there and there. And not that one. Come back out. No, I said not that one. That one and that one. Yeah. Ladybug, good evening. How did your last day at work go? Or was that yesterday? I can't remember now. I thought it was today, but I got a feeling it might have been yesterday. But how are you doing? Yesterday. Thursday, yes, okay. Got a little bit confused there. We went out yesterday. We went all the way up to Manchester to Coronation Street, the old Coronation Street set for a Christmas party there. Lady Zara is a fan of Coronation Street. Alright, she's not a fan, she just watches it a lot. And knows who lived where and when and what happened in lots of episodes and who married who and where all the buildings were and used to be. Oh, that's not very nice, Claire. But it saved you a lot of money. Or if it's anything like sort of where I work, it's with things like birthday parties and things like that. It's it's whoever's birthday it is that buys everything. So it saved you. Your place was the same. It saved you some money. Yes, by all means, you can ask. Don't know if I'll know the answer, but you are welcome to ask. So that was gold, that's silver. I think I want to add it like that. Inside. They if it doesn't say check, jump rings are usually measured from the inside because the aspect ratio, which is the important number, is the inside diameter divided by the wire diameter. So like these are 5mm internal, actually 5mm internal diameter, 1mm ring wire, therefore the aspect ratio 5 divided by 1 aspect ratio is 5, which is the important number. But you do have to be careful. For example, I bought some sterling silver rings. They were measured external diameter, so I didn't get what I thought I was getting. Still use them for something else, but if it doesn't say, check, because you'll get completely the wrong size if they are wrong. But two shops I mentioned to you, for example, they both measure internal diameter. Okay, so I've done that. So I now want to do gold and 4. Which would be that, and that. and I've got something wrong because it shouldn't look like that. Like that, like that. That looks better. "8mm rings and they're all like," yeah. So they're a lot small. They're a lot smaller than you thought they were. No, I've got experience of those two websites, and what they do. As I say, I've got caught the same way, exactly the same way. I don't know if it's something, you know. Don't know if it's something sort of unique to bullion, you know, sterling silver, that that they labelled them the other way, but no, have I done that right this time? Yep, I have. Oh, okay. Yeah, you need. A large ring is 8mm, isn't it? It's 8mm. Third of an inch. 8mm ribbon. Well, you could always fold the ribbon in half, and so, you know, ribbon sew down one edge. That would be one way out of it. You could end up making buying some 4mm ribbon or 6mm ribbon. Depends on how thick the wire is, I guess. Oh yeah, no, for that sort of, yeah, no, I totally follow the fact that they're suitable for that sort of bracelet. You could always, you know, immediately branch out into, as I say, get slightly smaller ribbon and make a smaller version. You could then go for the layered look, for example. Put a small one on top of a big one, or, you know, two on your arm together. They'll come in handy for something though, so. They don't kind of, they never kind of get wasted. Helm chain. I find it quite easy to do, but it's not. If you try and do it how it looks, it's not. If that sounds silly, let me just. Put this down. Let's see if I've got. Actually, I've got a piece here. I just take this ring off the end here. In fact, actually, let me take this one apart a little bit. And then I'll just take this. This is a test length, so I can take this one apart and put it back together again without worrying about work hardening the rings too much. Okay, I've got this one. This one is started, but imagine you just start with 2 rings like that, and you've maybe got a piece of tie on around the 2 rings. So if you just sort of take a piece of tie around 2 of your big rings and just to hold them like that, it gives you something to hang on to. I'll use the tail of this, but it's just 2 rings like that. You then take the small rings that are going to go vertically to hold these two to the next 2, like this. Don't worry about the one that goes in the middle at this stage. If you try and do it now, it gets really awkward. So I've got just those 2 rings, and then I've put the little ring around it, and I'll put my other 2 large rings on as well. So now, if you like, if I was just starting this, I've got 4 large rings and 1 of the small. I'm using pink here, and I close that up. Now I'm using 2 on my center piece here. And so what I'm just going to do is feed the second ring, which probably wants opening a little bit, but feed my second ring through all the 4 large rings, and fasten it up. So I've now got 4 rings on with the two small ones that hold it together like this. The middle ring of the helm is missing at this stage. Okay, what I do now is take one of these and fold it back here, and that one and fold it back there. So I'm holding it like that. Now what I can do is I can take my middle free floating ring, make sure it's open enough, but I can now just feed it in like that. Oops, sorry, I'm busy doing it wrong here. Okay, I'll show you again. I do it by folding it back, but I'm just showing to show you. I think it's probably easier. Let them dangle like that. I can feed that through there, around that one, and then just between those 2, like that. Okay, these kind of then will just fold back, which is what I meant before. You can then close this up because you've got plenty of room then. He says, trying to get hold of it with the pliers. Like that. And then I can just flip those 2 back. And I could take another pink ring put it around there and put my next 4 big ones on. Once the 4 big ones are on, you know, my next 2 big ones are on, obviously the next these small rings, and then we're back to that situation. I can just feed the blue ring around there and just carry on from there. And then you should find helm is a lot easier to do. Because you've been trying, and I did the same thing until I worked it out, but you were trying to get that ring in at the same time as trying to put these in, I'm guessing, and it's really tight when you do that, and it's really awkward. So I'll leave it out until basically the last moment, and then rinse and repeat. Let me just put this ring back on the end of that just to hold it in place. All of the what looks like complex weaves, and this one looks so simple, it's deceptively simple when you look at it, but it's a lot of the complex weaves are simple or simpler to do when you work out the trick of doing them. The right, you understand the right order or what you need to hold in a particular position, and then they become a lot simpler to do. It still takes skill to do it, and and to line up the rings and everything, but and practice, but it's a heck of a lot simpler. Right, I will do just that's silver, that's silver. That's just gone through 4. This now needs to go through 2. It's going to be gold, so I'll put it through that one and that one. I'm just coming up towards the end of the stream though, I'm afraid. It's like doing this one now. I think I have now just got the trick of doing it with the two colours. It's taken me a couple of hours to get that trick of doing it, but I think it just twigged. Hopefully I'll remember it when I continue doing it, but because I'm now looking at this and going, oh yeah, that one needs to go there, without having to study the picture, which is what I was doing before. Now, if I'm doing it right in my mind, it should be that one, I think. And then this one, which I will put one on, because I've only got one ring out. I'm not going to bother getting any more out tonight. We'll go through there, 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 and there. Is that correct? That looks it. And close it up. Okay, and that'll hold up when that does that. Okay, right. Yeah, 10:06. Okay, well, good luck with that. They'll do the job. Worst cases, you might have to rest your hands. I mean, they will do a job. You know, and you'll find what you like or don't like, and that's kind of the best thing. So if they don't last you very long, at least you'll know what to look for next time, which is a good thing. Okay, well, it is. We haven't done very much on this one. This is a candy cane. The idea was to try and just use 2 colours rather than 3, so that I could get the yellow colour to actually look like it was spiralling around the weave, and it does. It's not a very high contrast, which makes it a little bit harder to see. But as I look at it here, I can see that that twisting around the length of the chain, which is what I was after. And now that I've got the trick in my brain is just how to position the rings. It wasn't the pattern; it's the order of the rings. Then I think I can progress this one now a bit faster. But it's going to be tomorrow, not tonight. Had enough for tonight. We've been broadcasting just over 2 hours. In fact, I've been broadcasting long enough for the 2 hours of music I have to stop, which is why it's gone quiet. Yeah, I think you're right, Claire. A higher contrast colour would have, red and silver, the purple, blue, any of the higher contrast colours would have worked a lot better for that. But I just like that combination. This combination looks really good. The silver and the yellow. It's yellow rather than gold. The gold is a lot dirtier looking, shall we say. It's a lot paler, is gold. But I really like the combination, which is why I wanted to use it again. But yes, you're right. A darker colour like red would look really good, and I may well try that at some point. But having done the box chain, which is also this is a helix, it's a double helix, so this 2 spirals around. I just like the combination that much that I wanted to try that in the same colours, and I think it's both of these are going to be bracelets that just look nice because of the colours, and then you start looking at them and then you start seeing the spiral, you start following it round, and it's kind of like a hidden extra, which I think is great. Yeah, I keep calling it gold, but it is actually yellow, and I'll just show you the difference. See if it will actually show up on. So that's yellow, and that's gold. If I zoom in a little bit on them, let me just tip it. It's out of focus a little bit. See if I can just throw the focus in. I haven't really got a great deal of light just in the right place for that, but you can see the gold is kind of a dirtier colour. Then this is a brighter colour, and I agree. If you're just looking at that on its own, you think that was gold, but it is gold is actually a paler, browner almost colour. Hopefully you've got at least an idea it's darker. It could be. This may or may not help. Not fantastically. Sheet of white paper. Okay, lots of white paper. There you go. That should give you a lot better idea of the two different colours. It's I haven't got enough to give a great big pile, but the more colour than the more in a pile you get, the better you'll see the colours as being different. I was telling you that a little while ago. Yeah, I know if you ask people what colour that is, they'd say gold, until you put actual gold next to it, and then they still say that's gold, but in actual fact that is the true colour. Anyway, we can discuss colour, and depends on the colour temperature of the light, which is also why I put it on the white paper, because the contrast of the desk tends to hide the colours as well. But anyway, I shall put them away before they get splattered all over the place. I will I'll say goodnight to everybody. Before I do, I will point out with the shop. I'm going to zoom that camera back out. I'll point out the Etsy shop there, which of course I highly recommend people check out, of course. Being my shop, I would. Most of the pictures, if you're watching, that you'll have been seeing in the bottom left for any of the jewellery is all in the shop. The pyrography and the other arts aren't at the moment. I may get round to that at some point shortly, but the jewellery certainly is there. And yeah, it's a bit smaller now, is my finger. So again, I'm going to say good night to everybody. If you're not following me, I'd recommend you do so. That way, Twitter, I will get that right one of these days. Twitch will notify you when I go live. If you follow me on Twitter, Twitter will also notify you when I go live, because a tweet goes out at the same time. Otherwise, if you want to just try and catch me tomorrow, hopefully I should be on from about 8 PM UK time. It's 2000 hours GMT, or about 2.25 hours ago it was 8 o'clock here in the UK, so around about that time tomorrow. Thanks everybody, hope I'll see you again in the studio, and have a good night. Bye bye.